Hey, your shirt, is that the Marshawn Lynch beast mode thing?
This is the Marshawn Lynch Beast Mode brand. This is his brand. It's not. It's not the Bluetooth symbol because I've been
Okay.
asked. I got a couple Beast Mode hats. I got a couple Beast Mode shirts, and I've been asked several times if I'm wearing the Bluetooth symbol.
Why beast mode?
I like Marshawn Lynch. To be
You do
honest with you,
nothing that says beast mode at all.
I sleep when I'm actually like when I get good sleep. I sleep like a beast.
Nah.
I play PGA 2K21 on the PC like a beast.
Damn.
Episode 4, Desert Dad Sports
Episode 4.
Podcast. Hey, are you ready for this one? We
Yeah.
shortened the last episode up substantially.
Yeah.
I like the 45-minute timestamp.
Yeah.
I know we went a little over it, but I like that timestamp.
Nah, it was good. It was good. I liked it.
And I think it flowed a lot better. You know what I mean? So let's just keep this flow going, you know?
Flow.
Say,
Go.
say what's up to the people, Phil.
What it do, people?
Cue the damn music, boy. Episode 4. Phil, we're still here, dude. I'm one of the
Hey.
most inconsistent people I know. We're still here, baby.
It's funny you say that because I keep thinking, and we didn't mention it on the last episode, but Obi's track is still fire.
I
bro.
like it, dude. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing
It is
special. It doesn't
still
sound
fire.
amazing, but it's just like it's nice, like upbeat, like happy. Like I think it's the perfect music for like a little podcast music.
Did you ask him if he's listening to the podcast at all?
I think I sent him the link. I don't know if he's listened yet. See, the hard thing is he don't have Facebook, so I can't just like Facebook's been the easy like go to. Just send it out to people, and then they can like it. And then if people are liking, you have a general idea. At least they're paying a little bit of attention. Maybe not.
Why don't we have an Instagram? Because they're the same company.
Well, I know, but see, that's exactly why I want to. But like we've been kind of like quiet about showing our faces, right? Well,
We're on Facebook.
Well, yeah, but have you seen your face on the Facebook? Nobody
yeah, on the
knows.
cover art.
Yeah, but that shit's all like cartoony and shit like that. And I just was like, hey, let me take a photo of you right now and post it. Hey, we're recording. Da da da. And you're like, no.
Cartoon. I'm trying to get a sharp tune.
Damn.
I'm trying to hit you with this harpoon.
Harpoon.
This is a dark
Why
room.
are we watching a rerun of the PGA when we could be watching late night cartoons?
Ooh. Hey, I'm literally digging into this little Debbie Swiss roll right
Well,
now.
you better make it quick because I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Now, for the last couple months, you've been pushing me to get this podcast going.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason you pushed me so hard and you didn't do this on your own, and I'm not saying this to be an asshole, I think it's just flat out true. I don't think you could have did this without me, or at least without somebody that knew or that knows a little bit more about doing shit like this.
It's because I'm a motherfucking leader.
You ain't a leader. I'm literally you. What have you done besides
led
talking
you-
a microphone?
I led you to do this podcast, you piece of shit.
Okay, so the question is why you want to get into podcasting. I'm gonna give you my answer first, and I'm gonna try not to talk too much, right?
Go ahead.
So growing up, one of the things that I always wanted to do was be either like on talk radio or like a broadcaster or something like that. That's literally what I wanted to do. I went to me and my buddy Louis, Agent Garcia. Damn, I just put his whole government on blast by accident. My bad. My
Jeez.
bad. My buddy Louis.
Government names out here.
Me and my buddy Louis right out of high school. In fact, I think he had graduated already too, and he graduated a year under me. But we went to a school called Alpha Pacific Institute, and it was a TV radio broadcasting school. And I look back at my mom drove us up there. Like I didn't even drive yet at the time, or at least I didn't have a car. I don't know if I had my driver's license just yet. But the reason why I didn't pull the trigger on it is, and like I just said a little bit ago, I have a problem with commitment. Like it scares the shit out of me. Like I don't want to be locked into things, right? I want to be able to keep my schedule, open and random.
So you got married.
No, in fact, this is like 8 years before I got married. I didn't even know who my wife was yet at this time. But
I did.
well, yeah, because you guys went to school together. I was older than she was, but I didn't want to sign my name on a loan to go to school. That's why I didn't do it. And I think, and has my life ended up bad? No, absolutely not. I got a beautiful wife. I got 2 amazing kids. I got a career. I just bought a truck, Yeah, a little check
Damn.
on the man card, brother. But
That second payment's coming up pretty
I
soon.
know. But I look back at the decision to not go to school, and well, I shouldn't say not go to school, but not go to that particular school. Excuse me, and it kind of bugs me. Would I have done something with it? I don't know, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be either in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, or behind the microphone or camera, or like, you know, on soundboards and shit like that. You know what I mean? I was recording music at the time, and you know, like that interested me, and it really bugs me. So, getting on to why, you know, I want to be here and why I want to do this is I did the YouTube thing for a while. All these episodes for the podcast are getting uploaded to my YouTube channel, Timmy D14. On YouTube, go search it. It's there. Every episode will be uploaded, except for the first one. I have to figure out a way to get that one up. But anyway, I did the YouTube thing for a while. I did the Twitch thing for a while. Oddly enough, I've actually made money on Twitch. Not a lot. I think I'm still under $1,000, but I'm getting pretty close because I haven't streamed much in a couple years now. So being in front of the microphone has never been a problem. So getting me to this point is has been fun. So my buddy Snickle Fritz, hopefully he'll be a guest on this show someday because he's thinking about getting his podcast going, and I'm rambling, I know. We did some podcasting stuff together. We reconnected. That's what got me into YouTube. So I think a lot of like YouTube, Twitch, and now this podcast stuff, I think a lot of that to Snick because he helped me get to this point. So I appreciate that. But that's really why I enjoy doing this, and I want to be here, and I can talk forever if you can't tell. So what's your play? Why do you want to be here?
Just because, man, growing up, I've always, like, I'm into sports, and I've always seen
Oh yeah,
people on, you know, TV doing their thing, and it's like we're watching it right now, literally in the living room. We're watching people talk about the sport that they played.
and what do they do that's amazing?
Well, nothing really.
They talk.
Yeah,
They do some research and they talk.
and a lot of them, like you're looking at Steve Smith right now. He played the game for a good few years, but I mean, they just know a little bit about research, and then they talk about.
Well, then you got to
how
ask
they
yourself how much of the stuff are they talking? Like how much of the research is done by them?
No, not a lot.
I would imagine there's a lot of that stuff that's dug up. A lot of like their notes before the show, like all that stuff's done by somebody else.
Like I would think that what they do is say, hey, this is what I want to talk about, and then they send an email to somebody, hey, dig up this and tell me all this stuff on this. But basically, why I wanted to do it is you're not far off. I knew I wouldn't do it by myself.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I've never jumped into the podcast game. Like when me and Snick did it, we did it with another buddy named L Dog, and we did it over. There was a couple other people that jumped on too. We did it on Google Hangouts. So all Snick did was just screen record his screen, and we all turned our cameras on. Is how we did it. But I think this is a little more. This is a little more like correct, I guess. And I like this flow a ton better.
It's an intimate setting
Damn, you want to be intimate with me?
in my living room.
Oh, girl.
Literally, we could be intimate, and my wife can watch.
Oh my God,
She's
where are we
sitting on my
going?
couch right now.
Becca needs to go to bed.
She's tired. Look at her. She's
Dude,
throwing up the
she was
deuces right now.
asleep 30 minutes ago.
I know.
And then she went and got a little Debbie snack cake, and now she got some sugar in her. She's ready to go play another round of
won't
golf.
eat that. She won't eat that.
Let's find out.
Jeez, you throwing
Damn.
a little Debbie snack cake? You better,
She's going to throw it back at me. I'm scared. Oh my God. Damn.
she'll put it. She don't play games, bro. She don't play games.
That's probably a good thing.
Like she won't throw it back at you or nothing.
All right, so to kind of continue on the topic here, do you regret spending money on the stuff that we've collected here for the podcast?
I mean, after this is going to be the 4th episode. I
Yep.
mean, after 3 episodes, I probably could have picked a better co-host. But
Shut the hell up.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'll leave right now.
Yep. Take off. Bye.
Nah, I'm staying. I'm staying.
No, I don't regret it at all. It's so far it's fun, and like it's probably pulling me out of my element. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't normally do something like this.
Well,
but
it's different when like you get asked a question and like you can usually BS your way through it, and there's only like 1 or 2 people listening to you. But now like anybody can listen to it. So you're like, if you got a shitty opinion, like me with the Drew League in episode 2, I was like, dude, I'm gonna feel so stupid because I'm so wrong here.
Nah, yeah, the whole Kyrie.
Yeah, dude, I felt so dumb, but I've never looked into it.
I was like, this guy's trash. Who's he even talking about? But
My wife just texted me. She's like, I'm listening to episode 2. Just got to DJ's ASL. That's funny.
you should have brought her. She could have just
Dude,
kicked it.
she was dead ass tired too. I'm shocked she's still awake. Like, we ran our asses off today. We drove quite a bit. We're in the sun quite a bit. And after like swim lessons, you get home and you're like, all right, I kind of want to kick back and relax. And the kids are like, let's go outside and swim. So we got like a little like 10-foot round pool, and it's only like 2 feet deep or something like that. And Kennedy is about being in the water, man. My daughter loves the water, and none of us, like me, my wife, and my mom, were like, go out in the heat again, you know what I mean? But Vanessa went inside. We were sitting out there together when you called, or when you texted me and then I called you or whatever.
Yeah, pools are a sore subject for me.
Hey,
nothing's really happened again.
Yeah, I hear you.
We're a whole week
right?
again,
Still nothing?
and nothing.
Well, it'll be worth it when it's done.
Yeah,
It's just
One of
getting to
these
that
years.
point. I know.
trash.
So okay, you bought a pool a year ago. Your wifey bought you a brand new set of irons. I don't know if was that in the first episode or did we trash that episode? I don't remember. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is
Yes, it was. I believe
okay. So
it was a brief like snippet about what she bought me and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we're
So any big purchases recently or coming up anytime soon?
Yeah.
And when I say big, I'm not necessarily talking about thousands of dollars, like a couple $100 buys or anything like
yeah,
that.
very big purchase.
What you got? Because mine's not going to be very big, and I just came up with this topic right now.
Yeah, so I go outside one morning and
Oh no, this is not going to be good.
my wife decided that she was going to go hiking, and she took her car out to
Oh,
a remote area.
So you got tires. That's what this is going to get
and
at.
so she goes down to the dealership to get tires because I go to work, and I don't know if she had the day off. I don't quite remember, but she goes down there and they fucking hose her like they do all the women.
Got finessed, huh?
Yeah, she got
finessed.
I was like, that's messed up. Basically, she went there for one tire, and they ended up telling her she needs 4. So $800
no.
later.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big purchase for me, you know.
Did they at least let her keep the other 3 good tires?
I think they gave her credit on it. I believe.
Well, at least it's something.
Yeah, she spent more on her tires than I did on my truck tires. So
Jesus.
that's how I know.
But she back in it. She's
She
back in the
got
background,
finessed.
shaking her head. No.
That's how I know she got finessed.
Damn. So okay, so there's a lot more than what I'm getting ready to talk about, but without going into crazy specifics, this shows you how cheap I can be. I don't spend a ton of money, but when I do,
me either. I didn't spend this money as well.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
So when I say a ton of money, like I have a hard time spending like $100, $115, or $50. Like that to me, that's a lot of money. Like you
if
work
it's
hard
not
for it.
on something you don't like.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So, for Christmas, I got a 3D printer. I have a just kind of put it out there
Christmas.
for Krima.
Krima.
I got an Ender 3 V2, so it's a filament printer.
Lost me.
No, people may know that. I think it even came up in episode 1 or whatever. But I want to get a resin printer. So one of the main drives is I play miniature games, like Warhammers and stuff like that. Now, I haven't played a lot recently. All I've really been doing is painting, and I'm trying to get better at it and whatnot. So I want a resin printer. I have the filament printer, but you can't really print like 28 millimeter models and stuff on a filament printer. It just doesn't come out right with the layer lines. So I want to get a resin printer. So I wake up this morning for the first time, and Amazon, and I'm not going to go into details on the resin stuff just simply because I don't know just yet. But there's a printer that usually sells for about $200. It shows that it's MSRP for like $260, but everywhere I've seen it, like it sells for about $200. They had it on sale for $130.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, exactly what I said, right? And I'm like, dude, $130. Throw in like another like $40, give or take $10. Either way, for a bottle of resin. Perfect opportunity to learn on. And I have the money, and it's literally in my Amazon cart on my computer at home, and I just cannot get myself to pull the trigger on it. I don't know why. I'm looking at spending $170. What's the problem? Something I want.
You just bought a $50,000 truck.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem.
Well, I'm not talking about the problem. I'm just saying you just pulled the trigger on a truck.
That's a
and
little
you're
bit. But now I got to make that payment, right? And it's not until the 14th, and we got a couple days until the first of the month rolls around.
Bro, you
Actually
just got a
whole week.
raise.
Yeah, I did get a. See, that's where I'm at. Like, what's $170? Like that ain't nothing. Just spend the money. But I just can't get myself to do it. I don't know why I have these problems. If I were to buy it, I would love the process of learning how to use it. and being able to print out 28 millimeter models or somewhere around that size, and be able to paint them.
Let me ask you another question. Do you just like the process on everything?
I enjoy learning is what it is. I learn very good by doing hands-on stuff. I can sit down like
You
I
know
do-
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I can sit down and I can watch YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I can learn. But I love, like you talk processes. I love the process of putting my hands on something and learning how to use it, or learning how to make it, or like I sit down, like I watch a lot of Miniac, and I cannot think of dude's name right now, and it's pissing me off. But I watch a lot of Miniac, and I guess we talked in the last episode about podcasts. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts where more than one person. Trapped Under Plastic is Ninjon,
Trapped in the closet.
and Miniac's channels.
I pull out my
Like they have two
Beretta.
separate channels, but they do a podcast together called Trapped Under Plastic, and it's all about miniature painting. I do watch that almost regularly. It's been a while, but I do, like, I even followed the Patreon for a long time and stuff like that. So, yeah, I enjoy the process. Like, I like seeing something from beginning to end, and learning how to get from beginning to end.
I think it's cool because, like, I watch you and you, oddly enough, you have a lot of hobbies,
I do, and it's always been my Achilles heel.
and you don't really like follow through with every hobby at once. You know what I mean?
This is true.
But like you-
I have knowledge about a lot of things, and I'm good at a lot of things. I'm not great at any one thing simply because I branch out quite a bit.
But like you always like come back to it, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't just leave something and never come back to it. You don't just spend money on something and not do it
There's,
ever again.
I will say there are very few things that I won't say regularly dabble in, but there's very few things that I don't at some point get back to.
I think one of the things that I would probably like to do or be better at is just a lot of home stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah,
building stuff
dude,
and doing stuff like that.
my-
I think it'd be pretty cool.
As a family, we remodeled an entire house, and then my dad was a builder / contractor, but we had another contractor come in and help us, and built the house. Like, I can remember mornings you talk about, like, we would wake up before school, go out to the house, and we would work on it for like an hour before school, and then we'd go to school. There's so many things that I learned as a kid.
You don't
And
remember none of
no,
that shit.
exactly. Like, dude, we were laying tile, we were doing drywall, and there's a lot of things that are pretty simple. Like, we did a lot of like toilets and like lighting fixtures, electrical stuff. Electricity scares the shit out of me. I don't like it. But
Nah.
like, if you ask me to go and hang up a fixture right now, like, I would have to do a little like research and kind of figure out what the hell I'm doing before I started pulling things off. But dude, there is so much stuff that I won't say that I could have learned. I definitely learned it, but a lot of shit, goes in one ear out the other type thing. But dude, my dad showed me so much shit growing up that I don't remember. I was in construction technology in high school, and there's so much shit that I don't remember. I taught how to frame houses, and I barely
Shout out to who?
Mike Waggy.
Let's go. Yeah, no. I kind of did the same thing with my uncle. I learned a lot of stuff about, we built like an Arizona room on another house, an addition.
Okay.
So I learned a lot about that, and then we remodeled my grandmother's house. But I can promise you, I don't remember
Yeah.
how to put in a shower and stuff like
Oh,
that.
hell
You know
no.
what I mean?
I look at that. That's one of the things I'd love to do in my house. Is we got one of those like fiberglass, not showers. It's like a tub. I think it's fiberglass. Anyway, we got one of those. I would love to rip that thing out and do like a full on walk-in shower, but dude, I wouldn't know where to start.
I'd like to retile mine.
Like, you got to tile like the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it's like my entire shower's tile.
Yeah.
Our shower's tile, but
Like,
it-
you
it's a
you
pretty-
have like a tub shower or a walk-in shower?
no, it's a walk-in.
Nice.
It's pretty big. It has heads on both sides of the shower.
Oh, that's sick, dude. I'd love to do that. I would put a seat in a walk-in shower too, dude. Nothing beats just like sitting down and just letting the water run. Like, it's awesome.
But you take like long showers.
Oh, I do. I don't.
You
be
like
getting-
have a shower beer.
Yeah, very rarely do I get in the shower and I'm in there for less than like 5-10 minutes.
Do you take baths?
Yeah, absolutely. Every now and again, I fill the bathtub up and I'll just soak, dude.
Well,
I'm an Epsom salt using son of a gun.
Epsom salt. Yeah, that's some good
I-
stuff.
I tell you what, the one thing you got to be careful. I know a lot of people, bath beer, like wine. Or, dude, you be careful because you lay down in a hot bath and you're feeling dehydrated, especially in Arizona. You start trying to drink that beer, dude, you feel
Getting all-
miserable.
Getting all twisted in the bathtub.
Dude, I'll have a cup of water next to me when I'm laying down in a bathtub.
Damn.
It just feels crappy.
Diana Taurasi's on TV right now, just blowing
Is this live?
Seattle out.
No, this can't be
Nah,
live.
It's recorded.
Was it
yeah.
from earlier today?
I believe so. Yeah.
This is
She's still a hooper, bro. Like,
Oh yeah. This is I don't know what the Seattle
Crazy.
team's called, but this is Seattle at
the Storm.
Seattle Storm at the Phoenix Mercury. What's today? Friday. Today's got to be the 22nd, right? Friday the 22nd.
Yeah.
We're literally recording this episode right after we did episode 3, so we're still just kicking back.
Baking back.
Got the big screen going. What do you listen to for music right now? Anything new? Or are you listening to old stuff?
Old stuff, but I recently picked up. You know who Jelly Roll is?
I don't know who Jelly Roll is.
Yeah, I'm listening to him right now. He's pretty decent, man. He has a whole thing where he was. I was watching like not really a documentary, but I was just watching this. I guess it's YouTube movie or whatever about his, and he was just talking about his life, how he's incarcerated and stuff, and he got into music and
Jelly
pulled
Roll,
him right
huh?
out of it.
Yeah, never heard
He's
of
pretty-
him.
he's-
Dude, I don't listen to a lot of hip hop anymore.
He's like country.
oh no
rock.
shit, huh? Okay,
He's like country rock hip hop. Like it's weird. He has a bunch of stuff.
gotcha.
But yeah, like him. Nobody knew because honestly, music is trash these days.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Especially not hip hop. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You already know what I'm listening to, and you get mad every time I mention them.
Some
I've been
trash.
I've been listening to Coheed and Cambria's newest album, Vaxxus 2, A Window of the Waking Mind, and it is an absolute phenomenal album.
I'm just kidding. I've honestly, you talk about these guys like they're God, and I've never really even listened through a whole.
I have one tattoo. It's a Coheed and Cambria tattoo, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
I've never even listened to 5 songs in a row, but the couple that I have, they're actually pretty decent.
You gotta wrap your brain around what you're getting into.
Yeah, they're not bad at all.
Yeah, because if you're a lyrical person, like if you like what you're like, you want to know what the words are, or like you want to hear the words or whatever. When you listen to Coheed, you have absolutely no idea what's going on unless you're familiar with who Coheed is or you're familiar with the Amory Wars.
And that's me.
It's
I
hard.
want to listen to the lyrics, and they have to make sense.
Yeah.
If the lyrics don't make sense, or it's some innuendo stuff,
No, I hear you.
I'm out.
One of my favorite rappers of all time will always be Wale. I love listening to Wale, and I feel like when I listen to him, he's got something to say. And
Yep.
it's not always about like girls' clubs, strippers, drink. There's some. I don't even know what the hell I'm trying to say. He's got something to say. You know what I mean? Like,
But it's passion and mindfulness, and there's
there's a
just
good
all
way to
kinds
put
of
it.
stuff.
There's substance. There you go. There's substance
Yeah.
to the music.
100%. Wale is probably one of the ones that I go back to all the time. But we talk about this all the time.
Yeah, I think Wale's
about
super
music
underrated.
and no, for sure. Best punchliner of all time, my boy Ludacris.
There's about a bazillion Ludacris punchlines. Hit me with it. It still feels like a midget is hanging from my necklace.
I pulled up with 1,000,000 trucks.
No, I pulled up looking, feeling, smelling like $1,000,000.
I don't know. Pass the bottle, the heat is on.
Something about that Cheech. And damn, dude, that's like 2004, bro. What's your favorite punchline from Luda?
Oh,
sorry.
God. There
Oh, were you saying that he was? Were you saying that he was one of the bench punchline
he
rappers?
is the best punchline rapper.
Oh,
there
I wouldn't
ever is.
disagree with you at all.
Luda, if you're listening,
Damn,
subscribe, mug.
damn.
We trying to go worldwide like Fast and the Furious.
So when you listen to music, I got a question for you. This is another one that I kind of want to get your brain on, and I don't actually think I know the answer to it. When you listen to music, are you like, do you shuffle music? Like even if you're listening to one artist, do you shuffle the artist, or do like you pick an album and like you listen to it straight through?
Well, Spotify takes that a lot away from me
Okay.
because they
See,
do,
I use Apple Music. I don't use Spotify.
they do like the daily mixes stuff.
Okay.
Shout out to Spotify. They have a real good program because like you'll hear a song that you never heard sometimes every once in a while, and you're like, oh shit, what is this?
Yes. Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
know
get that
and I know
luxury.
that you don't like that stuff.
Well, yeah. See,
You want to pick your songs.
well, it's not even I want to pick my songs. Like I am very much like if I'm shuffling a specific artist. If I'm not shuffling, I'm listening to an album from front to back. Or like I might get locked in like Like, let me pull the track list up right now because I don't really have the names to all the songs in my head. So I was talking about Vaxis too, A Window of the Waking Mind from Coheed. I've been listening, so track 7, 8, and 9, Blood, Liars, The Liars Club, and Bad Man. Like, when I'm getting in the car to drive around, like, I'm starting with Blood, and I'm listening to those 3 songs in order. Those 3 songs just resonate to me. I like the way they sound. I like what they have to say. But, like, we drove up to Chandler earlier today, right? I kind of put that on blast. But I started from I started from the first song, and I worked it all the way down. Like, I will very rarely shuffle random artists. I can't. I have a hard. I like listening to albums the way they were meant to be listened to, and that's the order that they were track listed.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mine's all shuffle. But I listen to like certain songs I want to listen to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like a lot of the times that mine will be like a search bar song
for sure.
and then it'll play it over again.
Yeah.
And then I got to go back in and search for another song.
But yeah, and I just kind of like, getting into people's brains on that because everybody likes to digest, their entertainment differently. And when it comes to music for me, I like hearing things in the order that they were meant to be listened to. That's just like one of the few albums that I listen to regularly that I won't do that with is Big Crit's Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. Phenomenal double album. There's a reason why it's hanging on my wall. The vinyl's hanging on my wall. But I think there's 21, 22 songs or something like that. So like you can't sit down and regularly listen to that album front to back. Like it's just hard. So I definitely have like 6 songs on that album that I love to listen to, and I'll bounce around there.
I miss my old iPod, my iPod Classic.
Dude, that'd be a crazy walk down memory lane.
Dude, if I could bring that back. Like, so one day the screen went out and I couldn't get anything off of it, but I wish I could get that entire playlist.
Dude, that'd be wild.
Bro, you ever listen, like, so like you're listening to music and I'm going to like iPod days. So I listen to some songs and I'm basically like sitting there listening to it. And I get this weird, like, I'll listen to the song, I'll hear it, and then another song will start playing in my head because that was the way that...
No, I know what you're talking about.
That was the way that they were played in my iPod.
Yes.
And so, like, I will think about that song right after the other song ends, and then I'll literally go into Spotify, and I'll have to look that song up and play it.
No, I'm with you. So that happens to me a lot because I listen to albums in order a lot. So, like, when I do shuffle, like, if I'm shuffling, like a specific band, or even if I'm just shuffling artists on, when very rarely do that, I'll have that exact same thing. Like, a song will end, and then I'm, like, instantly, like, humming the next song on the track list, and then something else plays, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit, I'm shuffling.
That's not what's supposed to be next.
Yeah.
Like,
so, that's funny that you say that, because I have that happen to me all the time.
Because, like, in my iPod... I'm going to say iPad. My iPod, I literally had, like, I would go from, like, John Legend to, like, Linkin Park. And it'd be, like, a crazy, like...
What about, can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cooking raw with the Brooklyn boys.
One last time, I need y'all to roar.
I'm tired of being what you want me to be.
That's weird.
I can't sing.
That's weird that this just happened because I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but it's his 5-year anniversary of him passing away.
Chester Benningfield passed away 5 years ago?
5 years.
No, I refuse to believe that.
5 years.
5 years?
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, that is insane. There's no way it was 5 years.
Telling you. I'll look it up right now.
That's nuts. Yeah, I was just thinking something right now. It just kind of popped in my head because you grabbed your Polar Pop over there. I wonder if there is a way that we can kind of cut down on some of that extra volume. And I don't know if maybe it'd be like a little foam deal that goes over the microphone or a pop filter or a shock mount, nothing like that would help. I don't know that much about sound to cut down every little chirp, but just kind of made me think, like, how could we continue to make the sound quality better?
2017.
That's insane, dude. 2017 seems like it was just like 3 years ago. Dude, the whole COVID pandemic made time just like, it's like we like Adam Sandler click and skip 2 years.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. The COVID, you suck balls.
Yeah, and it's like COVID didn't affect our work life. You know what I mean? Like, it was business as usual for us.
Yeah, of course.
But it's still like in a way, like, it still affected you. You know, like, even if you don't think it affected you, like, it did.
Well, it did because we were running our asses off.
Yeah.
The amount of people that actually caught COVID is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Yeah, no, COVID was crazy. It's weird,
it
and
still kind of is.
it's 2.5 years we're in. Like, think about that. Like, it's 2.5, almost 3 years.
I don't even remember at this point. Was it 2020 or 2021?
It's
I feel like it
three.
was 2021,
It's,
but
no, it was 2020.
was it? All I know is Coheed and Cambria was getting ready to do a Never Render tour for Good Apollo Ironburn Store for Nowhere for Tomorrow, and I was pissed off about it because
I don't
was
know
my
what you just said.
No World for Tomorrow is my all-time favorite Coheed and Cambria album. Came out in 2007. I just started listening to them right before that album came out, and it was the first record that I bought.
I know that this is your favorite band. Everybody else doesn't know.
Oh,
Like,
without a
how'd
doubt.
you get into these guys,
Okay, so
or how did they get into you?
Damn, I don't want to make this too long. I was sitting in computer class my senior year in high school, and I'll just say first names. I was sitting next to a dude named Cody and a dude named James. I knew James a little bit from a class the year prior, but we didn't talk, right? Was sitting next to him in computer class, and I heard him talking about D&D. They kept talking about D&D, and I'm like, I eventually just looked over and I'm like, hey, you guys talking about Dungeons and Dragons? And I didn't necessarily know that D&D was the nickname for Dungeons and Dragons. But my dad had a bunch of modules, like old OG Dungeons and Dragons books. So there was some interest there. I knew about it. And they're like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. I'm like, no shit. Like, I've always kind of wanted to play. So they invite me to go play in a classroom at the school. I do that for a little bit.
What a nerd!
Yeah, and I quietly did it. Like, nobody knew I was playing Dungeons and Dragons for 6 months.
Were you ashamed or what?
No, I didn't want my wrestling friends to make fun of me, so I would wrestle twice a
So
week.
you were
and then
ashamed.
It was one of those things, man. I had played Pokemon. I had played Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, I was into that kind of stuff growing up, but I definitely fell away from it from high school. And then I got really big into Magic the Gathering after I graduated. Like, I was playing tournaments and shit like that. Like, I loved it. I miss it. Anyway, I get an invite. James was like, "Hey, we're all gonna get together at my house this weekend. We're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons, all night or whatever." And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm in, just as long as I can crash at your house. And he's like, yeah, everybody that doesn't have a car is crashing at the house. So this is even before we drinking, because we were still in high school. Like, no beers or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you think D&D, like, I kind of want to drink. Nothing. Sober as hell. Fruit platters and fucking veggie platters, bro. Those were the fucking play when you were playing D&D. Dude, James' mom used to take care of us. Anyway.
Shout out to James.
Yeah,
and
no
his
shit.
Mom.
And I know her name, but I literally always called her mom. Till this day, I still call her mom on the very rare occasions I see her. But so the way Coheed came about is playing D&D with these guys, having a blast, and it's a bunch of dudes. Like, I could never see myself hanging out with these dudes. Some of the best times I've ever had hanging out with that group playing Dungeons and Dragons. Swear to God. Nobody's
cool.
flexing on each other. Nobody's trying to fight with each other. Nothing. It's just like 6 dudes that are just, let's fucking get into our imagination, roll some dice, and have some fun. And it was a blast. But the way Coheed was introduced to me is Coheed's like the nerd band, and all their music's based off a comic book that the lead singer writes. That was kind of my introduction. And the very first Coheed song that James showed me was Blood Red Summer. Been hooked ever since. The first concert I went to was with my Dungeons and Dragons friends to a Coheed concert at the Rialto Theater in Tucson, I think 2008. Changed my life forever. It was an amazing show. I still have the ticket. But for me, like, with that group, like, you look at, like, these guys are all nerds, they're weird, whatever you want to say. Like, dude, I have some of the best relationships with those guys. One of them passed away a couple years ago. I still remember James calling me and telling me that he had passed away. I was actually having a party at my house and put a damper on it. Fast forward, 10, 12 years later, and I ended up backing out of the second campaign. But me, James, and 2 other guys that used to play in that group all started playing D&D together through Discord. So I'm like, man, this is freaking cool, man. Like, 12 years later, and we're still grinding. But James opened up a whole world to me, like board gaming, even some comic stuff, some book stuff. The miniature stuff, like, I wouldn't be into like Warhammer and stuff like that if I never met those guys. So, like, they showed me a side of me that I didn't even know I had. Scythe is one of my all-time favorite board games. Second favorite board game.
Yeah,
easy.
you just built one of them little 3D things to hold in some
so
of the pieces, right?
Yeah, I built a bunch of boxes to put, like, all the different faction pieces in. 3D printed them, actually, and painted them up. I wouldn't have no idea what Scythe was without James and that group. So that like I appreciate everything that James has ever done for me and that group's ever done for me because they opened up my eyes to a lot of shit that I would have otherwise never had the opportunity to see.
I know you guys can't see it right now, but he looks like he's gonna cry.
I might, dude. I might. James, I'm sorry I didn't make it to your wedding. I couldn't afford to fly to fucking. I couldn't afford to fly to Florida and get on a Royal Caribbean cruise for 7 days or whatever it was. I
Yeah.
apologize.
You got invited to his wedding?
Yeah, that motherfucker got married on a cruise ship. I'm like, I can't afford that shit. I got bills.
I got a new truck. Nah, that was probably before that.
God dang, we got to work on not hitting shit. I'm literally sitting back in a recliner right now.
How are you hitting shit in a recliner?
I keep turning my head.
Move
and,
the mic.
I keep turning. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to make big movements. It just,
What else you trying to talk about?
I don't know. What time are we at?
I don't know.
I don't even care about asking about. I feel like we should just know this.
35 minutes.
35 minutes. How did you propose to your wife?
Oh, it's a terrible story.
And I want you to drag this out a little bit because I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking.
No, it's really a terrible story. So, my wife and I got engaged probably like, I don't know, 3 to 4 months into our
That's it?
entanglement. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, Jesus.
Yeah, 3 to 4 months into our
Hey, you're
relationship.
cute. Do you want to marry me?
Yeah, basically. Hey, here's Subway. By the way, we're in the parking lot. You want to marry me?
Damn, your first date was Subway?
Nah, I wasn't Subway. I don't remember what our first date was.
Mine and my wife's first date, we went and watched the movie Blind Side together.
Oh yeah,
And then
we were
she-
talking about
Yeah,
that.
she kissed me, and she'll, if you ever ask her about it, she'll make sure. She's like, yeah, I kissed him first.
Nah, she
Swear to
ain't
God.
gonna say that.
Yeah, she kissed me first.
Nah, my
I-
proposal was in a parking lot, dark parking lot.
Continue?
Yeah, it was just like it was just
What?
one of those things.
I thought mine
So-
was weird.
Nah, basically, the wife told me that if I did not propose to her, she's gonna propose to me, and I don't want to seem like no bitch.
Did you have a ring on you?
Of course.
Okay, so you had some pre-planning time in between
Yeah.
her saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't plan nothing like, oh, this is gonna be so sweet.
You were like, hey, I know we're in the parking lot of Golden Corral, but
At least it was snowing,
okay, so up north. I like
Yeah.
it.
and I just went to go open her door, and I had the ring, and
You were like, fuck
she was still sitting in the seat and proposed. That was it.
So you got down on a knee?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's kind of.
I'm a little jealous. That's one thing I did not get to do.
She got down on her knee.
No. You got anything else to add to your story? Because I'll give you mine here shortly.
No, she still cried though. I mean, it was. I don't know.
Dude, my shit's gonna be funny.
It was weird. It was one of more. I guess it was a nervous moment, and I was just.
Oh
like,
yeah, absolutely.
I was like, you know what, just get it over with. And I tried to plan something really. I guess how they.
Yeah, so did I.
But it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So I just did it the way I did
Nah,
it. and
I feel you. I
got it
feel
over
you.
with.
So
13 years later.
yeah, no shit. Me and my wife had been together for just over 5 years before I proposed. In fact, I think it was pretty close to 6. And I wasn't in a hurry to propose, but I figured like, I felt like we've been together this long. Like my thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we had been together so long, and I'm like, how do I justify like keeping her around and not, proposing? Like we've been together this long. I think, like I said, it was like 5.5, almost 6 years, and we had lived together all but one of those years. So me being like, I love going to Disneyland, so I'm like, I'm proposing at Disneyland. Shout out to Scotty Smalls. He was with me when I bought the ring. Thank you for the help. Get to Disneyland that day, and it was the first day that we were there, and I'm like, I'm doing it. The ring was I had my Camelback with me. The ring was in there, and she wore it almost the whole entire day. Was the funny thing, and never found it. But I wanted to.
She wore her ring.
No, it was basically, basically. So my original plan was I wanted to propose at Snow White's Grotto, right there by the Wishing Well. So like if you're walking down Main Street into the park and you're looking at Sleeping Beauty Castle, it's just tucked into the right. If you know Disneyland.
Bro, I hate Disneyland.
Oh, I love it, dude. I want to go to Disneyland by myself and just do my own thing for a day.
I would go to Disneyland with you, with all of my kids, but going with my wife and just my kids,
Oh, dude, I love it. Come with me. We'll have a blast. I got the route.
bro.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
obviously I was nervous, right? So we had drove up from Arizona to California, and then we go to the park the same day, right? We left out super early. Her mom was with us. It was me, Louie, Vanessa, and her mom. So nervous all day long, right? So the way the night ended up working out is we passed it early in the day, and I was too nervous to pull the trigger. Well, then as the day went on, the sun starts going down, and then all the parades are starting on Main Street, USA. So I'm like, where we were over in like the Adventureland side. Like I'm like, I can't get back over to Snow White's Grotto right now. There's no way. Too many people, all the parades, like it's just not happening, and it's getting dark on me. So now I'm trying to think like, where can I go that I can do this where there's a lot of light? So we went all the way around, and now we're behind the castle in Fantasyland, and I'm like, I see the teacups. I'm like, there's a shit ton of light over the top of the teacups. This isn't gonna be the way I wanted this to go, but I'm like, I told Louis, I'm like, hey, dude, give me the bag, give me the ring. We're gonna go ride the teacups real quick, and I'll just do it there. Because now I'm at a point where I'm like, I need to get this done because I don't want to be stressing about it tomorrow. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy the rest of the trip. So we sat down on the teacups, and I told Louis, I was like, if they try to spin it like like add some friction to it or whatever, so that way the cup doesn't spin. So damn. So I'm sitting on my butt, Vanessa's sitting on her butt. I didn't get the opportunity to get down on a knee, and I proposed while we were on the teacups at Disneyland. Somewhere there is a video that I hope like hell it never resurfaces because I felt like it was really embarrassing. So, but like it worked out, like we got it done. She said yes, obviously, but I didn't get to get on a knee, and that kind of bugs me. I really wish I would have been able to get on a knee. The funny thing is the first thing that came into her mind, and she'll tell you this, the first thing that popped into her mind when I asked her to marry me is if I asked her mom and dad, because she was real big on you got to ask my mom and dad for permission. And I kind of fought it like, I ain't marrying them, you know what I mean? But, I guess, now that I'm a dad, I feel a little bit different about it, you know what I mean? But
Did you ask for permission?
Yes, I did. I asked for permission the weekend of Thanksgiving. I don't know how. I feel like it was only like 2 or 3 months before. Well, no, it would have been like 6 months. I 6 months prior, I asked them Thanksgiving weekend, at Fossil Creek up in like, the Mogollon area, is where I asked mom and dad, or her mom and dad, and obviously they both said yes. But that was the first thing that she was like, yeah, I was thinking like, did he ask my mom and dad? And I'm like, God dang, like, be happy or cry or some shit. Like,
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that she already knew I had asked her dad and her mom.
See, Vanessa had absolutely, like, I have never surprised. The only time
I don't know.
Yeah, the only time I've legitimately surprised my wife is when I asked her to marry me.
You know what? No, I asked. So, legitimately, the only time I've ever surprised my wife is when I asked her to marry me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I'll buy her shit for Christmas or whatever, and she figures it out.
Well, yeah.
Like she figures everything out, but she had no idea I was going to propose to her on that trip.
Your wife is like a private investigator.
She is.
Like,
she is a sleuth, man.
She could have a second job.
Well, see, the funny thing, we're driving up, we're driving to California or whatever, and I'm playing like the Bruno Mars song, like, I think I want to marry you. And I played Wale and Usher's Matrimony. Like, I'm playing all these like marriage songs, like trying to like drop little hints and shit while we were in the car with the music. She had no idea.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something fun to do.
There you go.
Hey Timmy.
Oh, damn. You think you want to marry me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no. So, I ended up asking her dad because she threatened to propose to me. And I was like, I don't want to be no...
Well, I mean, at least like, she wanted that. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
You weren't going into that shit blind. Like, the good thing for you was, like, you knew 100% confirmed she was not going to say no to you.
No, but at the same time, when I asked her dad, that was probably the second conversation I had ever had with her dad.
Oh, that's weird.
And it was all over the phone because he lived in a different state.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. It's not like you're going to...
In my mind, I was thinking, like, oh, how do I get over there to ask him and not be weird? And then I would say I'll call him.
As a dad, I would understand. You're young, you're probably early 20s or whatever. You're probably like working. You're either in school not making a whole lot of money, or you're probably working at a job where you're not making a ton of money, right? So I would understand. I think as a father, like I feel like I would want to know you a little bit. But if you called me like, hey, like I really wanted to get over there, but I would understand. As a father, I think I'd be pretty understanding of that.
I literally got inside my car, drove to a park,
and
sat in the car. And
there you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No, at least I did it though. Some of these dudes are scared. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well, I wouldn't say that I was so much scared. It was more of I knew the day I asked her parents. And I asked both mom and dad, which actually worked out because it helped take some of the stress away. Because mom was standing there, and my wife's she loves me. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. But it made it easier. The way it ended up working out is we were all sitting there, and my wife's sister was like, "Hey, Vanessa, let's go for a walk." And they kind of went walking down this like dirt path a little bit, and I was like, "All right, yeah, I'm staying here." Perfect opportunity. And what saved me is
And
they
you fucked it up.
no, I didn't. It worked out. But what saved me is they didn't go very far. So they ended up like as soon as I asked, I got the permission and everything, and like the conversation was getting like shit. This is like becoming like a real conversation. They walked back down the hill over to us, and I was like, oh, thank God! Like, get me that bailed me out real nice.
Oh, good times. Yeah, no, it was. Ours was definitely weird, but we also didn't get married for another 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah,
So-
but Vanessa ended up getting pregnant about a year ahead of schedule. So
well,
we ended up.
that was the conversation we had. She goes, her dad literally says, "Well, yeah, as long as you don't get her pregnant, you know." And she finishes school.
Well,
5
about
months
that.
later.
About
5
that,
months
buddy.
later.
Okay, so she wasn't pregnant when you asked.
No.
Okay.
No, it was like 4 or 5 months later.
Now Vanessa wasn't pregnant when I asked either. She ended up getting November, October. Yeah. She ended up getting pregnant like a month later, I think. I feel like she got pregnant around like the end of November, but it was kind of an accident. Like,
Don't say that about your child.
no, I won't say that she was an accident. I mean, we'd have probably found a different way if it was an accident, But it was more like it was ahead of schedule, right? And I told Vanessa like we had like a whole bunch of shit planned out. I told Vanessa I'm like my kid's not being born out of wedlock. Like this shit ain't happening. And she was with it. She's like, all right, yeah, cool. Like the one thing I want to give. This is getting all sentimental and shit. The one thing I want to give my wife is a wedding that she actually wants because we had like a shotgun wedding, and I know.
How are you gonna do that?
Probably like a vow renewal. Like this year will be, 6 years?
So are we planning something?
Not at the moment, no. I mean, I like 10 years sounds right for a vow renewal, right? So we got like 3 or 4 years before we actually have to do it because I don't want to get married. Like I don't want to do a vow renewal at like 7, 8 years. That doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
I don't know. It just sounds like a weird.
As
time
long
to
as
do
it's significant to you guys, that's all that matters.
it. Yeah, I guess you're right. You just want a reason to drink.
Damn.
You
know how Mexican shit.
let's go.
We be trying to drink at anything.
I remember that wedding you went down to in Tucson with the open bar, bro. You were toasted when you called me that night.
Hey, it was literally like, hey, we got like, they said something like, hey, the beers are like $2 a pop, and we have like $500 left, and I was like,
Give me work.
bet. I didn't even. there
Becca,
was
stop
no
drinking.
chance.
You're driving.
No, we were staying.
Oh,
there.
that's right. You did stay down
We
there.
were staying there. The next morning was terrible. But dude, we didn't even put like a $200 dent in that $500.
I remember you telling me.
It was wild. Yeah, we were faded and X-rated.
Faded and X-rated. I like it.
That's just how that one went.
That was a good run.
Yeah. What do you have on tap for the rest of the weekend?
Well, I got my kid's birthday.
Yo. We going to that?
I it doesn't make a difference to me if you come up or if you just come to the house after the fact. We got like a cake and stuff for it. I don't know exactly how tomorrow's gonna go.
Birthday party. We're gonna drink.
All right, I'm down. Let's get
That's a reason to drink, right?
let's go West Toasted at the house. You know.
Well, it's Dave and Buster's. I'm trying to go.
Yeah, no, come through. I got obviously I gotta edit these episodes. I got a 3D print on the printer at home. I'm gonna pop off, get the supports pulled off. Hopefully when I get back to the house right now, and then get it all ready to go for paint. Probably later on in the week.
You think we should record a third episode?
Nah, I'm gonna go home and go to bed. I gotta get up at 5 o'clock.
It's a beautiful night. I'm looking for something fun to do.
Hey, you know what? This is good fun, man. I like these random topic episodes. They're a little less serious than the sports ones.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I like sports, but these are fun.
Yeah, it's bedtime though. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go home and get some sleep.
Shout out to all the people who are still listening to our
I
podcast.
appreciate the support,
all
man.
2 of you.
Nah, there's at least like 10, 15.
we
like we're
got some
grinding.
people.
We're getting
Hey,
work.
If you guys have any suggestions on anything that we need to do, either hit us up personally or get up on
The Facebook's
Facebook,
there. Yeah, the
and
Facebook's there. You
just let
guys
us
got
know.
anything? Let us know. Critiques, good, bad, and different.
what
Anything
you want to
wanna
hear.
Yeah, if
anything you want to hear. Just
maybe even one day we'll do like a live Q&A. Or, well, that would kind of be tough to do, but maybe we'll set it up like a week in advance. Or like we'll put up like, hey, what do you guys want to hear? And then
Yeah.
we'll just take topics that we like or whatever for the random episode and do that. It'd be
yeah,
kind of
and,
cool.
and they don't really have to be. They can be not safe for work as well. I mean, I don't care,
Yeah, depending on what it is, I'm good
Yeah.
with it.
depending on what it is.
I don't want to get too wild, but let's have some fun.
Wow.
Let's have some fun. All right, Phil, you got anything else to say?
Not really, everybody. Yeah, I already said it. Basically, thank you for tuning in, and we'll do it again next week.
Hell yeah. Until then, thank you for the support. See you next time. Cue the music.